Welcome to Awakening Spirit, where we delve into the profound realms of self-discovery and unearth the secrets to manifesting the reality you desire. Today, we present a journey into the mind's infinite potential with our guide, how to convince your mind to achieve all you desire. In the landscape of human consciousness, there exists a potent force that shapes our reality, belief. It is the bedrock upon which our dreams take flight and our desires manifest into being. But how do we harness this force? How do we transform belief into a tool that carves out the destiny we yearn for? This exploration is not just about achieving what you desire, but awakening to the realization that your mind is the canvas and your conviction is the brush. Embark with us as we journey through the intricate dance of thoughts and reality, where philosophy meets manifestation, where ancient wisdom converses with modern aspirations, and where the mind's eye reimagines the world. It's time to unlock the doors of perception and invite the universe in to conspire, to co-create, and to celebrate the power of conviction. Understanding the mind's language. The journey to convincing the mind begins with understanding its language, a language beyond words, composed of feelings, images, and energies. Our mind is a fertile ground where the seeds of thought, once planted, can flourish into the garden of our life's experiences. To speak to the mind, we must align our conscious desires with our subconscious convictions. This alignment is the alchemy that transforms thought into reality. It requires an immersion into the depths of our being, exploring the uncharted waters of our inner selves to find the pearls of our deepest convictions. By meditating on our desires with clarity and emotional intensity, we create a symphony of thoughts that resonates with the frequency of achieving. Each visualization, imbued with the passion of our hearts and the clarity of our intent, sends ripples across the cosmos, signaling our readiness to receive. The journey to convincing the mind begins with understanding its language, a language beyond words, composed of feelings, images, and energies. Our mind is a fertile ground where the seeds of thought, once planted, can flourish into the garden of our life's experiences. To speak to the mind, we must align our conscious desires with our subconscious convictions. This alignment is the alchemy that transforms thought into reality. It requires an immersion into the depths of our being, exploring the uncharted waters of our inner selves to find the pearls of our deepest convictions. By meditating on our desires with clarity and emotional intensity, we create a symphony of thoughts that resonates with the frequency of achieving. Each visualization, imbued with the passion of our hearts and the clarity of our intent, sends ripples across the cosmos, signaling our readiness to receive. The universe, in its vast expanse, responds to these signals by aligning circumstances, people, and events that echo our inner state. This is the mind's true language, a silent conversation with the divine, where faith is felt and destiny is shaped. The philosophy of as within, so without. The ancient Hermetic principle of correspondence, as within, so without, as above, so below, holds the key to understanding how to convince our minds to achieve all we desire. This philosophical gem teaches us that our external world is a mirror reflection of our inner state. The macrocosm is a larger expression of the microcosm that is us. To harness this principle, we must first cultivate a rich inner world. A mind convinced of abundance will see abundance bloom in its wake. If we wish for peace, we must become a sanctuary of calm. Should we seek love, we must first embrace the fullness of love within ourselves. This internal cultivation is akin to preparing the soil of a garden before planting. We must remove the weeds of doubt and the rocks of fear to ensure that the seeds of our desires can take root. Through philosophical inquiry, mindfulness practices, and reflective meditation, we nurture an inner environment ripe for creation. As we align our inner world with a vision of what we seek, the external world begins to shape itself accordingly. It's an elegant dance of cause and effect, a testament to the power of our inner being to influence the cosmos. This understanding is not just about achieving desires. It's a spiritual awakening to the realization that we are co-creators of our reality. Cultivating unwavering faith. Faith is the bridge between desire and manifestation. It is the unwavering belief in the unseen, the unknown, and the yet to come. To convince the mind to achieve all we desire, faith must be as natural as breathing, ever-present, life-sustaining, and profound. This cultivation of faith begins with small steps. Acknowledge the successes of the past and the present gifts, no matter how small, to build a foundation of trust in the universe's generosity. It's about seeing the oak tree and the acorn, recognizing the potential in the promise. Our spiritual traditions are replete with stories of faith, moving mountains, parting seas, and summoning miracles from the ether. These narratives are not mere stories, but encoded instructions on the power of belief. They teach us that when faith is unwavering, the mind opens to possibilities beyond the ordinary, beyond the limitations imposed by our five senses. In this space of faith, conviction grows. We move from hope to certainty, from wishing to knowing. As we affirm our faith through rituals, affirmations, and spiritual practices, we reinforce the architecture of our beliefs, creating a fortress against doubt and a sanctuary for dreams to take root and grow. Faith is not just a concept, it's a practice, a way of life, a decision to live in a state of expectancy, opening our arms to the universe's bounty with grace and gratitude. The role of discipline in desire. Desire without discipline is akin to a flame without fuel. It may spark, but will quickly fade into smoke. Discipline is the rigorous application of the mind's resolve, the daily commitment to the practices that bring us closer to our aspirations. It is the steadfast guardian of progress, ensuring that our desires do not become mere wishes lost to the wind. To cultivate discipline, one must create a sanctuary of routine and order. Like the ancient philosophers who adhered to their daily rituals, we too must find solace in a structured practice. This could be daily meditation, writing in a gratitude journal, or visualizing our goals with piercing clarity. Discipline also demands an understanding of sacrifice, the wisdom to forego immediate pleasures for the enduring sweetness of achieved dreams. It is the choice of the divine will over the mortal whim, a testament to our dedication to the path we've chosen to walk. The mind convinced by discipline knows that each act of willful effort is a brick in the edifice of our desired destiny. Releasing limiting beliefs. The mind's potential is often shackled by chains of limiting beliefs, forged in the fires of past experiences and societal conditioning. To achieve all we desire, we must first recognize and release these bonds. Like the ancient alchemists who transformed lead into gold, we must transmute our doubts into affirmations of possibility. The process begins with introspection, a fearless dive into the depths of our psyche to confront the shadows that lurk within. It involves challenging every negative thought that whispers of incapability or unworthiness. By employing techniques such as cognitive reframing, we rewrite the script of our internal dialogue, turning "I can't" into "I will." This liberation is not an act of forgetfulness, but a conscious choice to view past limitations as stepping stones to greater heights. It is a rebirth, a shedding of old skins, an awakening to a life unbounded by the false ceilings we once erected over our potential. Embracing the vibrational universe. Quantum physics and ancient spirituality converge on the concept that the universe is vibrational. Every desire, every thought, every breath emits a frequency that resonates with the fabric of reality. To convince our minds to achieve our desires, we must become masters of our vibrational output. Embracing this vibrational universe means aligning our emotional state with the essence of what we wish to attract. Joy, love, and gratitude are not merely emotions but frequencies that open doorways to new dimensions of experience. Practices such as chanting, sound therapy, and energy work are tools to refine our vibrational state. They are the subtle instruments that orchestrate the symphony of our life experiences. As we attune ourselves to the frequency of our desires, we become magnets for the experiences that match our internal state. The power of positive affirmations. Words are the spells of the mind, casting the future with each utterance and thought. In the realm of manifestation, positive affirmations act as a conduit for change, channeling our focus into a stream of positive consciousness. When we affirm our intentions with conviction, we are not merely speaking. We are invoking the creative power of the universe, sculpting our reality with the chisel of our words. Positive affirmations are declarations of our inner truths, aspirations, and commitments. They have the power to reshape our mental landscape, paving the way for new patterns of thought and action. To implement this, one must choose affirmations that resonate deeply with personal goals and repeat them with emotion and belief, ideally during moments of tranquility and reflection, such as during meditation or early morning reverie. The repetition of these affirmations acts as a reprogramming of the subconscious mind, which cannot distinguish between reality and vivid imagination. As we affirm our worth, capabilities, and success, we are not merely hoping for change. We are setting the gears of the cosmos into motion, aligning our spirit with the pulse of the universe's boundless generosity. The art of letting go. The pursuit of desire is as much about attainment as it is about detachment. The art of letting go is the spiritual practice of releasing attachment to outcomes, understanding that the universe works in mysterious ways beyond our comprehension. Letting go is not a sign of weakness or disinterest, but an expression of trust in the divine order. In many spiritual traditions, the act of surrender is revered as a powerful stance, one that invites higher forces to take the reins of what we might be grasping too tightly. To practice this, we must learn to release control over how our desires unfold, focusing instead on maintaining a state of grace and gratitude. This subtopic explores the balance between intention and surrender, teaching viewers to put forth their utmost effort while also leaving room for the universe to work its magic. It's about setting intentions, doing the necessary work, and then stepping back, allowing the river of life to flow, trusting that it will lead to the ocean of fulfillment. The synchronicity of action and trust. In convincing the mind to achieve what we desire, action must be married to trust. Synchronicity, the meaningful coincidences that occur in our lives, is the universe's way of showing us that we are in harmony with the flow of life. It is a signal that our actions and beliefs are aligned, creating a pathway for our desires to materialize. To invoke synchronicity, one must act with a sense of purpose while maintaining a deep trust in the unfolding of life's plan. It's about walking the path with attentive eyes, recognizing opportunities as they arise, and perceiving challenges as guided courses for growth rather than obstacles. Embodying the vision. To bring forth the life we envision, we must embody the vision with every fiber of our being. Embodying a vision means to live, breathe, and act as if the desired outcomes are already woven into the fabric of our reality. It's a full-spectrum engagement where thoughts, emotions, and actions align in harmony with our goals. When we embody our vision, we don't just perform tasks aligned with our objectives. We become the person who belongs in that desired state. This act of embodiment is a dynamic and potent form of self-belief that transcends mere visualization. It means dressing, speaking, and carrying ourselves in ways that reflect our end goals. It demands congruence between our internal state and external reality, crafting a lifestyle that is a testament to our future selves. In this, there is a spiritual awakening, a realization that we are not waiting for the future to arrive, but are actively constructing it with each present moment. It is about creating a personal culture that honors our aspirations, setting boundaries that foster growth, and making choices that lead to the fulfillment of our deepest yearnings. The spiritual aspect emerges as we recognize our role as co-creators with the universe, with each action and each moment being a brushstroke in the masterpiece of our lives. Nurturing the seed of intention. The concept of intention is at the heart of manifestation. Intention is the seed from which the tree of outcomes grows, nurtured by the soil of our consciousness. Setting an intention is the act of defining a direction for our energy to flow, but nurturing it is where the real work begins. Nurturing an intention requires consistent attention and care, much like tending to a garden. It involves watering it with positive thoughts, removing the weeds of negative influences, and protecting it from the pests of distraction and overextension. It also means providing it the sunlight of community support and the nutrients of personal development and learning. With these approaches, the process of convincing the mind to achieve all it desires becomes a conscious evolution, an unfolding of the self that is both profound and grounded in practical wisdom. Transcending self-imposed limitations. At the core of many unfulfilled desires are the limitations we impose upon ourselves. Our belief systems, shaped by personal history and societal narratives, often contain restrictive ideas about what we can achieve. Transcending these self-imposed limitations begins with the recognition of their existence and the resolute intention to break free from them. To transcend limitations, we must first challenge and deconstruct the false narratives we have accepted as truth. This deconstruction is not a one-time event, but a process of continuous self-awareness and correction. It involves questioning the validity of our limiting beliefs and replacing them with empowering truths. As we do this, we expand the boundaries of our potential and open up to new possibilities. Spiritually, this transcension is akin to a metamorphosis, where the caterpillar of our former self evolves into the butterfly of our limitless being. It is an alchemical process that turns the lead of our doubts into the gold of our innate worthiness and capability. Engaging in practices such as meditation, affirmations, and spiritual study can illuminate the path of transcendence, revealing the divinity inherent in our pursuit of growth and fulfillment. Cultivating inner alignment. Inner alignment is the congruence between our deepest values, our thoughts, and our actions. It is the harmony of the soul's purpose with the mind's endeavors and the body's actions. Achieving our desires is contingent upon this alignment, as it ensures that our energies are not scattered, but focused in a singular, potent direction. The pursuit of inner alignment often entails a period of introspection where one must identify and commit to their core values. It is about living authentically and making decisions that resonate with our true selves. This alignment is a delicate balance. It's not just intellectual agreement, but an emotional and spiritual synchronicity that propels our entire being towards our goals. Practically, inner alignment can be fostered through mindfulness practices that connect us with our present state, decision-making that reflects our values, and actions that are congruent with our personal mission. Spiritually, it requires a deep connection with the divine essence within us, recognizing that our personal desires are a reflection of a larger cosmic will. Mastering the ebb and flow of energies. The journey to convincing the mind to achieve its desires is not just about the constant exertion of effort, but also understanding and mastering the ebb and flow of energies. Like the ocean tides, our lives are governed by cycles of action and rest, giving and receiving, expansion and contraction. Mastering these energy cycles means recognizing when to push forward with vigor and when to pull back and recharge. It requires attunement to our own physiological and emotional rhythms, understanding that there are times for vigorous pursuit and times when the most productive action is to rest and let our intentions simmer in the subconscious. Incorporating this understanding into our lives means adopting practices like meditation, yoga, or qigong, which teach us to manage our life force or Kai effectively. It also involves setting aside time for reflection and recuperation after periods of intense activity, honoring the natural rhythms that govern our physical and spiritual well-being. By mastering these ebbs and flows, we create a sustainable path toward achieving our desires, marked by balance and wisdom. This mastery not only aids in manifesting our goals, but also ensures that we maintain our health and happiness throughout the process. Creating momentum with small wins. Achieving big desires often starts with celebrating small victories. Momentum is built from incremental progress, where each step forward fuels the next. Recognizing and valuing small wins creates a positive feedback loop in the mind, affirming our ability to succeed and propelling us towards larger goals. Creating momentum involves setting miniature, achievable targets along the path to our larger vision. It's like crafting a mosaic where each tiny piece contributes to a grand design. The sense of accomplishment from these small triumphs fosters confidence and a can-do attitude. It also conditions the mind to associate pleasure and success with the pursuit of our goals, making the journey as rewarding as the destination. This strategy also aligns with the concept of Kaizen, or continuous improvement, a philosophy that focuses on small, manageable changes rather than overwhelming transformations. By integrating this principle into daily life, we lay down a steady path of evolution toward our highest aspirations. The intertwining of patience and persistence. Patience and persistence are twin virtues on the path to convincing the mind to achieve what we desire. Patience allows us to endure the journey without succumbing to frustration, while persistence enables us to continue moving forward despite challenges and setbacks. Balancing these virtues requires an understanding that some desires manifest in a nonlinear fashion and may require time to align with the perfect conditions for fruition. Patience is not passive waiting, but an active state of readiness, a quiet confidence that what we seek is on its way. Persistence is the dynamic force that drives us to take consistent action, maintaining our course in the face of adversity. Incorporating patience and persistence into our practice involves setting a pace that is sustainable over the long term and being mindful not to rush the process. It's about trusting the timing of our lives, honoring the gestation period of our goals, and recognizing that every effort contributes to the end result, no matter how indirect it may seem. Building resilience through mindfulness and adaptability. Resilience is the cornerstone of any effort to convince the mind toward achievement. It's the ability to bounce back from setbacks and adapt to changing circumstances with grace. Mindfulness enhances resilience by fostering a present moment awareness that observes without judgment, allowing us to remain centered amidst the flux of life's experiences. Adaptability complements mindfulness by providing the flexibility to pivot strategies as required. It's the recognition that while our core goal remains constant, our tactics may need to evolve in response to new information or conditions. This fluidity in approach prevents stagnation and keeps the pathway to our desires open and dynamic. Building resilience may involve developing a meditation practice to enhance mental and emotional stability, while adaptability could be honed through diversifying our skills and embracing lifelong learning. By cultivating these qualities, we establish a robust psychological foundation, ready to withstand the trials and tribulations on the path to our aspirations. Aligning with the principle of giving and receiving. The balance of giving and receiving is a fundamental principle that permeates the fabric of the universe. To convince the mind and attract what we desire, we must also be open to giving generously of ourselves. This reciprocal exchange ensures the flow of energy remains dynamic and unobstructed. Giving can take many forms, such as sharing knowledge, offering assistance, or extending kindness without expectation of return. In doing so, we not only contribute to the well-being of others, but also set the stage for receiving. The act of giving aligns with the law of attraction, affirming our belief in the abundance of the universe and our confidence in its endless capacity to provide. Receiving, on the other hand, requires humility and openness. It involves acknowledging our worthiness to accept help, opportunities, and even serendipity. Balancing these acts of giving and receiving fortifies our belief in the interconnectedness of all things and the generosity of the cosmos. Conclusion: the symphony of mind and manifestation. In conclusion, the journey to convince the mind to achieve all we desire is a symphony composed of various harmonious elements. It begins with the silence within, where intentions are set and clarity is found. Through the embodiment of our vision and nurturing of our intentions, we engage with the universe in a powerful act of co-creation. We transcend limitations, align our inner world with our outer actions, and master the dance of energetic tides, understanding that our personal growth is part of an expansive cosmic rhythm. We have explored the necessity of building momentum with small wins, the intertwining of patience with persistence, and the cultivation of resilience through mindfulness and adaptability. we've recognized the importance of aligning with the universal principle of giving and receiving, ensuring that the flow of energy through our lives remains vibrant and unblocked. As we reflect upon these principles, let us remember that achieving our desires is not a mere act of will, but a profound spiritual practice that intertwines with the fabric of our existence. It is a path that is walked with the feet of action and the heart of faith, guided by the light of our unwavering spirit. The essence of this journey is not just in reaching the destination, but in the transformation that occurs within us as we travel. By embracing this process, we don't just convince our minds, but also awaken our spirits to the infinite possibilities that life has to offer. In this awakening lies the true realization of our desires, as we open ourselves to the wisdom, beauty, and abundance of the universe. This is the art of convincing the mind, a sacred dance of becoming, where each step taken in awareness brings us closer to the manifestation of our deepest yearnings. And so, with hearts full of hope and minds ripe with possibility, we conclude our exploration only to begin the grand adventure that awaits in the living of it.